Alexander Adams, your amateur psychologist, and in today's session, we are going to be discussing Piglet and generalized anxiety disorder. Anxiety is an unpleasant but completely normal emotion that everyone experiences. Yes, even animals. People suffering from generalized anxiety disorder have a chronic and high level of free-floating anxiety without any particular source or trigger. This stress isn't situational. It's not about a particular big deadline or threat. It's constant. The main distinction between someone with general anxiety disorder and your garden variety worrywart is that someone suffering from the disorder has anxiety dominating their life, and they're being restricted by their fears and anxieties. If you're at all familiar with the world of Winnie the Pooh, you might be thinking that this sounds an awful lot like a certain little pig. Anxiety is Piglet's default emotion. Anytime Piglet is introduced to a new environment or new stimulus, his instinct is to run in the opposite direction. Whenever Winnie the Pooh is trying to rally his friends together and get them to go off on another fun adventure, Piglet is always the naysayer. He's been living near the woods for years, yet he's still terrified of them. He's convinced that they're unsafe, and he's far too small to venture into them. Really, Piglet? Roo is a baby, and he's not letting his size hold him back. Those of you who are fond of playing devil's advocate might be thinking, that's not really fair. Maybe Piglet just isn't very adventurous. Maybe he's just timid. Maybe he's the voice of reason instead of the voice of doubt. Piglet's body language and reasoning show that he is not making these decisions because he's naturally a more timid person. All of these actions are clearly motivated by overwhelming anxiety. He's not shooting down Winnie the Pooh's ideas because he's the cynical, jaded voice of reason. All of his actions are motivated by overwhelming anxiety. As for not being adventurous, Piglet says on many occasions that he wants to be brave and bold like his friends, but his overwhelming anxiety is holding him back. By using cognitive behavioral techniques to challenge these irrational thoughts and all the old schemas put in place by his anxiety disorder, Piglet might one day be able to be this braver, bolder version of himself. Unfortunately, we run out of time for today's session. I'm Alexander Adams, your amateur psychologist, and I'll be seeing you soon.